Hello. If you watched my first video of walking the Thames Path, you'll know that I had to give up the trail because it was seriously flooded. And although I tried to divert and come back on it a bit later on, it was just as bad. And so I abandoned my walk. On May the 1st of 2021, I recommenced my walk and I started from the point where I first had to give up. That's about a year and a half almost further down the line, and that's because of the pandemic, because I couldn't travel, we weren't allowed to travel or anything like that. So this video is me starting from that point and finishing my original walk at Lechlade. I did originally do the introduction from that point, but somehow it all went wrong. I don't know why. So that's why I'm doing it from my home. But I hope you enjoy this bit. It's still my intention to walk the whole of the Thames Path and do it in a series of days walks. And so this is the second part. Thanks for watching. The starting point for my walk is just a little bit east of Ashton, Keynes. And I'm walking through an area which is a lot of old flooded quarries. I think it's part of the Cotswolds Water Park, but I'm not really sure of that. I think it's the very southern end of that. And the River Thames is somewhere down there over to the south. It's a little bit of a way away. So I've kind of parted company with the actual river at the moment. It's not a bad spring day. It's cloudy and there are the odd showers, but at the moment it's dry and it's quite pleasant. So it's a good start. Definitely looking forward to it. It's been a long time since I've been out and about walking, so yeah, definitely looking forward to today and stretching the old legs and getting back on one of the national trails. This is one of the lakes. Quite beautiful. The water when you stand on the edge is really clear. And as you can see, there's a guy learning water sports over there. I'm happy to say that I'm back in touch with the river. This is the Thames. It's a very attractive part of the Thames, I've got to say. I've come to the town, at least I think it's a town, of Cricklade. It might be a village, I don't know. The Thames Path itself doesn't actually go through the town, it just sort of skirts the top end, the northern end of the place, which is what I'm doing at the moment. It's about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, which I suppose is fairly late. The reason for that is that the buses from Lechlade were really infrequent, and I didn't catch a bus from there till 1 o'clock, so I didn't start my walk till about 2:30. If I'd tried to catch an earlier bus or whatever, it would have taken me 4 hours to get from Lechlade to Ashton, wherever it was, and I didn't really fancy that at all. since Cricklade, the path has faithfully cleaved to the side of the river, and it's been mainly through fields, so it's pretty flat, to be honest. There's a few ups and downs which break it, but it is pretty level, which I guess, being near the river, is what you would expect. The day's definitely got that feel of evening about it, and it's wonderfully peaceful at the moment, just walking along, walking through here, and because it's flat you can see quite a long way, see quite far, quite distances. It's alright. It's alright, we're friends. I've come to a little patch of woodland, which is really nice. Kind of breaks up a little bit having walked through fields and fields. Look at that, apple blossom. It's about 6 o'clock. I've made it to Castle Eaton, which is the first village since Cricklade. I've been just walking by well, it's all been by the river, which has been really good, but mainly through fields. And I suppose because it's flat, you make pretty good time. It's, you know, you can get quite a good pace on. Anyway, I've decided it's time to stop and have tea. I haven't eaten since breakfast time this morning. I had a good fry up, which yeah, usually keeps me going. But yeah, I'm beginning to feel a bit peckish now, so it's definitely time for tea. Well, back on the road now, literally at the minute. It is a road. Castle Eaton's a very pleasant little village, worth visiting, and the church is worth just dropping into as well. But now back on the path. I think I've got about 4, maybe 5 miles to walk. I went to charge my phone and realised I brought the wrong USB lead, so I can't. So I'm hoping my battery will last out until I get to Lechlade. We'll see. Might be a bit thin on this bit of the trip. Well, believe it or not, walking along that bit of road was quite enjoyable. But back now by the river, by the Thames. And I think pretty much from now on it's all like this. It's all fields. There's loads of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 swans all in the field. I'll show you them. I've noticed a certain time of year swans seem to gather in fields. I don't know why it is. So if anybody knows, I'll be really pleased to hear. There we are. It started to rain a bit earlier on, so I put my waterproofs on, but of course as soon as I did, it stopped. But I'm going to leave it as it is now. Plod on. Anyway, here's the swans. First sighting of boats on the river. I'm just north of Upper Inglesham, and I guess from here the river must be navigable. I didn't think it was navigable until you got to Lechlade, whatever it's called. But obviously not. This is it. I think I'm just a few miles away from Lechlade now. I've come across this unusual looking building, tower. I wonder what it used to be. I wonder if it was a mill of some sort, even beside the river like that. I suppose it's a possibility. The river's been very still for the last few miles. I guess it probably has got a current, but it just looks really calm and still. Mind you, haven't said that over there. Look, you can see ripples of a flow. It's amazed me how quickly it's become this massive great river. I suppose over 15, maybe 20 miles from being just a pile of stones in a field. It's become this great thing. I'm thinking this is Lechlade. I'm near the end of my walk. Apparently that round building was to mark the place where the Bristol and Thames Canal came onto the River Thames back in the 1800s, I suppose. Something like that, anyway. And it says it's quite a unique building. I'd agree with that. This all looks very peaceful and cosy, and yeah, very nice. That must be the pub up there with all the lights. Be nice to stop and have a pint, but I've got to drive home, so I better not. I have reached the bridge at Lechlade, and that's the end of my walk for today. The last few miles from after I had my lunch or whatever, it's been fairly varied. Fields, woods, walking along track, nothing spectacular, but it's been pleasant enough, and I really enjoyed walking in the cool of the evening and listening to the birds. Birds have been very, very prolific. I think I've heard about 3 or 4 cuckoos, quite a few of them along the way. It's, I would say, about 3/5 of the way beside the river. It comes in for a fair bit of it. You can sort of see it over there, but you're not next to it. But the trail used to go onto the 361 and then come up 361, but they've rerouted it, and it brings you onto the Thames, and it brings you onto this where it's quite wide here, and that was good. And enjoyed that good bit. So that's about it. That is my day's walk.